I've known Cheryl for 35 years. Started off working with her at Rockford Memorial back in 1986 when she was a nurse manager of a program at that time was called ATEP, and I was administrator overseeing services.
You know, when I stop and think about it, I might go as far as 20 or so years. I think it was more informally before because I would just make referrals to remedies and she was always my point person. But when we did get into a partnership with them, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I got to know her a little better.
I've known Cheryl since the late 70s, and I have known her from the recovered community. I knew of her when she was at Rockford Health System and have interfaced with her both socially and professionally and as a client.
I have known Cheryl working-wise for 8 years, but as I was a phlebotomist at Rockford Memorial years and years ago, I met her in the ATAP unit.
I think I first met Cheryl in the 1980s. When I came to Rockford, it was 1984, and I spent 3 years at Crusader Clinic, and then I went over to Rockford Memorial Hospital and started to practice and would do some work doing histories and physicals on the old ATEP unit, and that's where I first met Cheryl.
Like I said, Cheryl has been actually, I mean, we're honoring 50 years that Cheryl has been helping people in recovery. Back in the days of, even prior to Rockford Memorial, Cheryl was working with people as far as suffering from addiction. I don't even know where to begin to count the thousands of lives, and I mean thousands of lives, that she's impacted in the Winnebago and Boone County area, and people from outside the area that came into treatment at Rockford Memorial back in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s.
You know, I think the one thing that I really value the most about Cheryl in our community is that she knows the people. She knows the patients, she knows the customers, the clients, however you want to look at them, but she knows the people. She's known a lot of them for many years. She understands where they come from. She understands what their difficulties are, what their obstacles are. And she's someone that really has a similar mindset to myself in that she's non-judgmental, she's accepting. She understands that people need more than one chance. She understands that people are going to fail, but then they just maybe need to figure out some way to rework that. I like the fact that she's strong with her patients, she's firm with them, and that she's honest with them. And I think they appreciate that as well. I know that if there's anyone who's having a problem or has any issues, she's someone I can call and we can discuss that. So for myself, I like the fact that she to me is a true community partner in that she knows the same people I serve, that I work with, and really understands where they're coming from.
When I think about the impact Cheryl has had on the community, I think of it both in terms of breadth and depth. Those of us familiar with the disease of addiction understand how many lives it touches and the ways in which we are all touched. It ranges from family, through employer, through just community. And so her willingness to serve in this space of healing people suffering from addiction means that her touch has been very broad and has deeply affected the lives of those with whom she's been involved.
Oh my gosh, she has meant a lot to this community. She has saved thousands of lives with addiction, with mental health, in hospital, out of hospital. She has helped so many people.
I think Cheryl has just done remarkable things for the community and for the patients. You know, unfortunately, there's been a history, I think, in medicine sometimes of not understanding addiction and treating patients who are addicted as if they're second-class citizens or they have a deficiency in principles or whatever. And that's just so wrong. And I think what Cheryl has done is to educate the community and even more importantly, just give people the dignity that they deserve.
I think the biggest thing I can say to Cheryl is thank you. When I look at when I came to, at that time, Phase Wave was the name of an agency prior to being called Remedies. And I thought to myself, if there's any one person that I knew that could give the recovering people and the people coming through our doors the best chance of getting into recovery, it was Cheryl. And what I mean by that is every person that comes through the door, in many ways, by the way she treats that person, she's saying to them, welcome to recovery, welcome to changing your lives. And Cheryl has brought that to every person walking through the doors, that she doesn't judge anyone, she just looks at them as somebody that needs help. And she's continued to do that, and like I said, she's done that for 50 years.
I'd like to say thank you very much. I appreciate that we've worked together on this journey. I also know that if I need you to any degree, you'll still be there to help out, because this is not over. And a lot of these folks, they do have relationships. And I think it's important to really leverage those and keep encouraging those. And I know that's something that Cheryl will do, even in her retirement. I think she's someone that you'll know will be supporting you no matter what.
Cheryl, I think of you as an absolute spiritual warrior. I think about you willing to touch the sacred places in lives that need to be healed, that need to be heard, and I'm grateful that you have been willing to serve in that space. I want to thank you for the times in my own life when you've made such a difference, when you knew I was hurting and I needed your advice, your counsel, and you were always there. I see you as such an inspiration and such a way shower for all of us who want to live a life of passion.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna miss you so much, but you're not gonna get rid of me because I'm gonna be texting you all the time for advice.
Well, retirement, Cheryl, is very well deserved. I keep trying to figure out myself why I keep going to work every day, but I do. But I'm envious, and you deserve it. I'll be kind of surprised if you don't figure out in retirement some other way to spend your time that continues to help people and help the community, but at least it'll be on your own terms. But you will be very much missed, and everything that you have done for people and patients and the community is greatly appreciated. And I think it's just a big thank you for everything that you've done.
It's never goodbye. I'll see you later.
Exactly.